I bet you've done this a million times before. You've worked a little bit later than you should have, deprived yourself of a nice home-cooked dinner or a nice dinner in the first place, felt so crap about it that you cannot find yourself doing anything except collapsing into your sofa or your bed and just rotting on TikTok or Instagram until your eyes hurt so much that you have to blink to give them a little bit of relief. And you promise yourself you're not going to do the same thing the next day, but you find yourself repeating that pattern week in, week out for months. Well, that was me, and I can't tell you how horrible it feels to waste your evening all in the name of, I just need to give my brain some time to chill. As someone who was trying to build loads of side hustles alongside a 9 to 5, I can relate to that so much because I literally have been on top of my laundry maybe 4 times in my life. Adult life. Now, the first really practical thing you can do is actually move. As soon as your workday is finished, moving around and getting up and not letting yourself stay still is the ultimate way to kind of like break that robotic pattern that you might be stuck in or tempted to be stuck in by continuing that lack of movement in your bed or your couch while you scroll. And the ultimate way to interrupt that pattern of not moving is to use Mel Robbins' 5-4-3-2-1 rule. It's a great way to just kind of think less and do more when it comes to interrupting that thought pattern for the day. So work your 9 to 5, and as soon as it gets to that 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. deadline, count down from 5 to 1 and just stand up and go for a walk and schedule that walk in your calendar. And if you work from an office, that can be your cue to stand up and walk to your commute home. Breaking up the pattern of your day with actual movement is scientifically proven to keep you from moving on to the next screen. You basically want to minimize that time to think about what you're going to do in between doing the different chunks of your day. In fact, to actually make this even more of a thing, try to avoid going home or staying home straight after work. If you're working on a side hustle or a project, maybe you go straight to a dedicated space for that after work, or you could schedule exercise classes or a walk in a different area straight after work. And if you work from home, treat this as a time to start your closing shift for the day. So pack away your work desk, tidy it, put away your work laptop, and actually take 5 minutes to do that routine. It might feel pointless and it might seem pointless actually doing it because you might just be moving over to the next room. But trust me, when I did this, it felt like I was actually leaving a shift at work. Because when I worked in hospitality, obviously at the end of the day or when the cafe or the shop closes, we have to do a bit of a cleanup and make sure it's ready for the next day because no one's going to be touching it then. And that's exactly the case with our workstation. Mentally, it's a really great way to shut down physically and in your brain. The second thing I did that really transformed the way I saw my evenings is something that you're really not going to like, and it's waking up earlier and creating like a mini day for yourself before your workday starts. And this can feel really difficult because most of us, because of either depression, lack of purpose, and generally not having great work-life balance, we do struggle to wake up early and get ready and prepare for the day in a sense that doesn't tire us out. Reframing your mindset to wake up early, not for work, but for you and for that mini day that you could have for yourself before your workday starts is a really great mindset shift because it really puts you into that mode of, I'm waking up for something exciting that's not really work related. Like work comes after that. And the way I relate this feeling that I had when I really had a nice morning routine before work was like when I bought a new matcha for myself. It would really make me jump out of bed the next day because I could not wait to try it. Or when you have a new breakfast fixation and it's all you can think about when you're going to sleep at night and you just can't wait to wake up and try it. And incorporate those little things into your morning routine and create little glimmers of joy that you're really looking forward to waking up to actually take part in. So in this sense, be really intentional and fun about planning a morning routine that you just cannot wait to experience every day, and make it something that you can really enjoy. It's almost like romanticizing like 2 to 3 hours before your workday starts, especially if you work at home. I think it's something you can really utilize to differentiate the blocks of your day and make them feel a little bit different. It makes your day seem a lot longer in a nice way as well. Now, the third thing is a reason that I loved having my social media channels and everything that I do outside of work, because I want you to pursue something outside of work that makes you feel like you've got a secret double life that your colleagues don't know about. And this doesn't have to obviously be doing what I did, i.e. like basically being an influencer outside of work. But for you, it could be just doing something really fun, like finding like a really fun hobby or going to concerts on a weeknight. Like, what are the hobbies and activities that you could do that make you feel like you have this double life? And what this does is helps you look at your evenings and generally your life outside of work as a whole new section, and again, another part of your day that you just look forward to and mentally separate. Now, practically, things that I did to really make myself feel like I wasn't wasting my life outside of work or after work was making sure that my life kind of felt maintainable most of the time. And what I mean by that is that I wasn't using my actual free time to catch up on my life. How I did that was by adjusting the days in the week I actually did the actual, like life maintenance tasks like cleaning, laundry, organization, food shopping, cooking, all of those things. I tried to not do them essentially on weekends. Most of us kind of fall into the trap of doing the big clean or the big food shop and the meal prepping on a Sunday, for example. But actually the Sunday and Saturday time could really be spent for you. And I would use weeknights to actually just catch up on other maintenance tasks like laundry, meal prepping, doing a food shop. It allows you to kind of get that time back at the weekend, but also still be doing things that make your life be put together during the times that you might have spent rotting anyway, i.e. after work. And it goes without saying that taking care of the basics really count here. So like making sure you're actually sleeping and eating properly, that you're exercising, that you're drinking water, all of these things help you feel a little bit less hopeless when it comes to getting back time in the evenings after work. And it also makes you want to doom scroll a little bit less when you feel better about yourself. So making sure you feel good as a priority is a really great way to combat even falling into the trap of rotting after work. And all in all, I think with all of these steps, to try and change how you approach life after work, try to implement one small thing first and let that blossom into an eventual change. We are what we repeatedly do. So if we're repeatedly making better choices for ourselves, we'll repeatedly be having a better time in life. And it all has to start with that one change, that one inflection point. Now, one thing that really helped my mindset going into not punishing myself mentally, because I think this cycle of rotting after work can cause you to really beat yourself up with your words and not really be nice to yourself. So we want to stop that in its tracks, and we want to emphasize that we are what we repeatedly do, okay? Our actions form our habits, and that's all this is. It's just a bad habit. It's not any part of you that you need to put down. You are not lazy, you are not boring, you are not pathetic, you are not any of these things that you call yourself in your head for letting your evenings slip through your fingers. It's just that your actions need to be realigned and your habits need to be adjusted. And those are two separate things. So I hope that's inspired you to have better evenings after work in the coming weeks, especially as it's starting to get dark in the UK. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.